All right, so I'm not going to go through exactly how I changed my drum heads, but I get a lot of comments from you guys about this stuff. So this is my Ludwig Black Beauty, and I think I've had this head on for about a year probably. By the way, it still sounds pretty good, but I am kind of feeling like I'd like to change it out. So today I'm going to change this drum head. Now the bottom head, it's got a diplomat on the bottom, and it's got these 42 strand wires for the snare wires. That's part of my sound of this drum. This is a Black Beauty, so it's a brass shell drum. It's pretty heavy. It's got a nice little heft to it. I'm not going to mess with the bottom head, but I am going to mess with the top. And let's change it out. Now, first things first, take this off. That's the first thing first. That's what we're going to do here. Now, before I put a drum head on, this is something a lot of guys do. I saw Kirk Biscara, do this. He basically takes the edge of the drum head and kind of works it in a little bit before he puts it on. I think Steve Smith does this too. And I'm going to start by doing that. This is a brand new Remo controlled sound head. So the first thing I'm going to do is go around the head and just kind of break that in a little bit. Supposedly it does something to the glue ring. My friend Mike Pisano could tell me if I'm wrong about that. So Mike's a drum tech in LA, by the way. Great drum tech and a great drummer. So anyhow, so I have a 10 lug Black Beauty, and 10 lugs means a lot more lugs to take off. 8 lugs, I like 8 lug drums, by the way. I have an Acrolite that's 8 lugs. I really like that drum. I also have a DMR walnut drum that is a solid shell walnut, and that's got 8 lugs. I had it designed for 8 lugs. When Dan built the drum for me, the drum's called the Duke, by the way. When Dan built the drum for me, he asked me how many lugs I wanted. He was going to put 10 on it. I said, no, let's put 8 on it. And I kind of like the 8 lug thing. Now, when I got this drum from my friend Ken Burton, I traded a 6.5 by 14 hammered bronze drum for this brass snare drum. I do not regret that, by the way. I've since bought a Black Beauty, brass Black Beauty, which sounds great. It's similar to the hammered bronze. The hammered bronze, I think, was a little drier, to be honest. But hammered bronze didn't do it for me. I don't know why. Some guys really dig that drum. I did not find that to be the case for me. So when I got this 5 by 14 Black Beauty in the, Superphonic style, Imperial lugs, all that good stuff, it just fit the bill. It just felt right to me. It came with a P85. I upgraded it to a Millennial snare strainer, the P86. I like the strainer. The problem was there's a little screw that falls out eventually, and it fell out on me and I lost it. I couldn't find it. I think it got vacuumed one day. That was the end of that screw. That was the end of that strainer. Can't find the screw. I wrote Ludwig, asked him, hey, can you send me one of these little screws? Can I buy one? Nothing. It was crickets from Ludwig. They didn't want to talk to me about it. So the Millennial strainer got tossed, and I put on this drum instead a Bennett R4 designed for the Superphonic and Acrolite beaded shell drums. So that's what's on this drum today, is a Bennett R4 curved. I just love Bennett throw-offs. I think Bennett throw-offs are probably one of the best throw-offs in the business. A lot of guys like the Trick. I've never really played the Trick, to be honest. I actually have 4 snare drums with Bennett throw-offs. I think it's 4. 2 DMRs, a Gretsch, and now this Ludwig. All right, so this is it. Now, let's take it, make sure there's no dust or anything. Actually, there's nothing. Let's see what shape this drum head is. I've played this pretty good. Definitely, this has definitely got some play in it, doesn't it? All right. Still had some life, you know? Anyhow, looking good. Put this on now. I usually line the Remo up with the badge. It's kind of a traditional thing to do for me. And then I'm going to put this on. So now the process of putting the drum back together. And I don't change drum heads a lot. Usually when I have a new sound, a different sound, I might try to change heads. Heads are getting more expensive today. I gotta be honest. It's like crazy. And are these heads really in bad shape? You know, that's always the other thing. Like I said, this had a lot of life in it. When I look at it, it still has a lot of life. I'll throw it in the pile to be a spare head for someday. But a lot of guys say, what's all that? You know, it's all that dark stuff, you know. You can clean this off, by the way. I think I did clean this head once. There's a Mr. Clean Magic wiper, and it takes this stuff off. It's kind of interesting. But anyhow, all that to say, new head day today. New head day today. This is what happens when I have a week off and a week to play in my studio. So this is what I'm doing today. I'm playing in my studio, trying to catch up with old friends or new friends, old friends and new friends. So it's really a fun holiday for me. And I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to use, me chit-chatting while I'm tuning up this drum. But I know how much you guys enjoy, you know, videos of me talking. So I thought I'd talk about this drum while I'm doing this. All right, what I like to do is get the lugs down to just seated, not tightened in any way on every lug. That's where I start usually. I know you can't watch this, but I guess if I took this drum off, you could. All right, so now you can see the snare better. Always put that back. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take the lugs and put them down here, like this. And notice there's no tension on it. It's just, I'm just bringing them down to the bottom. Now some guys say there's a certain crisscross you have to do. I've done the crisscross for years, traditional crisscross. DW updated the crisscross a few years back, and they put numbers on the head to actually help you with it. So I've also watched guys just do this and just turn from one all the way around the drum one time. You know, they just do equal turns at every point. I don't know which way is the best, okay? But I will tell you they all will work eventually. It's all about getting the tensioning the same. So once you get it to that place where they're all finger tight together, and that's what you want to make sure you all have them all in the same spot, which is what I'm doing here with this. There's no tension on it, just down. That's that. Once you get it to there, then you have to just decide how you're going to go crisscross or not. Now, traditional crisscross, just so you know, traditional crisscross is you go here to here, then you move over one, then here. That's the traditional crisscross. Okay? Now, the DW crisscross is you go from here to here, then you skip a lug, you go here, then you move over here, then you skip another lug, and somehow it all evens out. I'm going to go traditional crisscross for me. The first way I learned how to actually change a drum head. So we're going to start by 1, 2 and a half. Oops, drop the key. Just remember what lug you're on. So, is that the one that's down? Nope. It's that one, right? 1, 2 and a half. 1, 2 and a half. This is 1, 2 and a half. 1, almost 1, 1, 2 and a half. And I feel the tension. That's what I'm doing here. Once it gets down again, 1, 2 and a half. That's the spot. 1, 2 and a half. 1, 2 and a half. 1, 2 and a half. 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. Don't beat your mic up too bad. All right. That's ballpark. Okay. Now, some guys like to push down on the head a little bit. I'm going to take it from now 1, 2.5. I'm going to take it another 1, 2. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I can tell which is more 1, 2 than the other. So this one's got to be dialed in a little bit, and that one's got to be dialed in a little bit. So that's really, truthfully, it's an ear thing. It's an ear thing and attention thing for me. These are opposite sticks. This is a rebound and this is a forward. I'm really digging the forward sticks. These are both forwards. Anyhow, that's wide open right there. This is a little bit more. Guys ask me, why do you do that? Well, when you mic something, put a mic on it, and this is not mic'd, you're getting camera microphone here, but when it is mic'd, taking out those overtones helps the sound, makes it easier to get the sound dialed in quicker. It's not impossible to dial it in the other way, but this makes it easier to dial it in quicker. Anyhow, one other trick, which I've shown before. If you want to get that more muted sound real fast, watch this. Sometimes it takes 2 lugs. There we go. Got the little wavy thing going on there. Oh, I like it. Anyhow, for all of you, this is now December 27th, 2023. When will I change this head again? I don't know, but it is now changed officially, so you can start ragging on me in probably about 6 months and say, hey, change your head. But I probably won't. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye.